Hey guys, good morning. So it's early here. It's like 5 a.m. and so I just wanted to invite you in on my morning routine. I love this time of the day. Everyone is still sleeping, so hopefully they stay sleeping and we're able to do this, but we'll see how it goes. So come along, we're gonna cook some breakfast here, we're gonna make some nettle, we're gonna go pick some nettle, and we're gonna have a great day. So I love the mornings. Jim and I love getting up really early before kids get up and just having some time when it's quiet to get some things done. And so, yeah, I feel like that starts with a big hearty breakfast. There's nothing as a mom like eating before your kids get up in the morning because honestly, sometimes just to have a meal by yourself and really be able to sit and enjoy food is just lovely. And so I love to get up and make something delicious and hearty and good. That's honestly why one of my favorite tips is to cook a bunch of vegetables, roasted vegetables beforehand so they're cooked, ready to go. I can throw them in a pot, make a really quick and easy hash of just a bunch of vegetables and eggs, really whatever we have on hand. Throw it in a pot and it's ready to go in like 5 minutes and it's awesome, and then you feel super satisfied and ready to take on the world, parent, do all the things that you need to do. What I like to do in the mornings after eating a really awesome, delicious, hearty breakfast is to get outside and to get some movement and to be outside. And so this looks like different things in different seasons. So usually it looks like milking our cow, and so that is what we like to do in the morning. I mean, that's what I usually do in the mornings, that I try to get up early before everyone is up and milk the cow, get outside, and I love that because it gets you that first early morning sun, which is so good for your circadian rhythms and getting you outside. But right now we're waiting for our cow to have a calf, so she's currently weaned. So now my routine, instead of milking, has been picking nettle. It's nettle season and nettle is my favorite. It's so good for you. There are so many nutrients packed in nettle. It's like off the charts in terms of greens and all of the amazing nutrients that it provides. And it is just my favorite tasting green there is. So it's more like a spinach. It's not like hearty and thick like a kale, but it is more tender, and it's more like a spinach, and it is so good. You don't want to eat it raw. You definitely want to eat it cooked, but when you cook it with a stir fry or some vegetables and a scramble, it's just my favorite. It's so good. You don't need to chop it to make it smaller. You can just cook the whole leaf as it is, cook it in with some vegetables, and it is the best. So that is what I like to do in the mornings in my scramble these days, or in my hash, is to add my roasted vegetables with my nettle, throw some eggs on top, throw some liver pate on top. We have a whole video talking all about liver and why we love adding liver to our daily world and how it's really changed our lives and how we make it and how we prepare it. So I throw liver pate in with my veggies and my nettle and some eggs on top, and it's the best breakfast ever. But then we're gonna go harvest some nettle, and I'm gonna show you exactly what we do. So I love this time of year when nettle is fresh. I harvest all the nettle for eating to enjoy, but we also like to harvest all the nettle we can for preserving and for having on hand, hopefully, ideally, for the whole year. So that means harvesting a lot of nettle. And so I try to get out there almost every day to harvest as much nettle as I can. And so we harvest it, we lay it on cookie sheets, we dehydrate it. So if you have dehydrator chutes, you can totally put your nettle on that. You can dehydrate it in the sun, or our oven goes down really low to like 100, 130 degrees. So I just put it at the bottom of our oven, our aga here. We have more information on our aga in another video if you want to check that out. But you want to just put that nettle at a very low temperature, as low as you can go, as low as your oven will go, or a dehydrator. Lay it out on cookie sheets, put on for a really low temperature for a couple hours until the nettle gets all crispy, like a crispy leaf that you step on in the fall, till it gets all crispy, and you can just crinkle it up with your fingers into little pieces, store it in jars, and you have nettle ready to go for the year. And it's perfect to have on hand. It's perfect for sprinkling in your soups, in your scrambles, in your stir fries. Honestly, we didn't buy any greens this past year. We just use nettle, and it's awesome. It's so nutrient dense. It's way better than really any other of the greens out there. And it's fresh, and you were able to harvest it. I know a lot of people have things about the stinging nettle. Honestly, it doesn't really bother me that much. I'm just kind of used to it. My hands still kind of just tingle all the time these days because of the stinging of the nettle, but it doesn't really bother me. It's not that bad. But if you don't like the stinging of the nettle, you can always use gloves. I recommend not mittens, but the finger gloves. It makes it a lot easier to pick your nettle if you don't like the stinging. But nettle is everywhere these days. So if you don't have nettle growing in your yard, we were so fortunate that we have a nice big nettle patch in our field. I was so excited to find that when we moved into our property. But if you don't have nettle growing in your property, that's okay, because I promise you, someone close by likely does. Or if you go to a forest preserve or some sort of nature hiking area, it's like an invasive, and it's all everywhere. And you know, make sure you can forage for stuff in where you're going, but it is everywhere. I mean, I've seen it off walking paths so many times, and there's so many people that have it that don't want it. And so a lot of people I've seen on different Facebook groups and different things are looking like for it to be gone and for people to come and take it and collect it. And so if you have any source like that, or you see it when you're walking, note that spot, go back, harvest as much nettle as you can, include it in your diet, try it. It is so, so good, and it's so good for you. All right, so I just wanted to pop back on really quick. We're back, our day is in full swing. It's like 8:30 now, so everyone's up. We've had breakfast, and we are having our day. But our nettle is done now, and so it took about 2.5 hours in a 130-ish degree oven for our nettle to be kind of that nice and crispy. And so that's just the sweet spot there. So I just wanted to share a little bit about what our mornings look like here. Just that little act of getting outside first thing in the day, doing something productive, nourishing your body, getting really yummy, healthy, delicious breakfast in first thing. Those things just make the biggest impact in my day, and just have an awesome, lead me to have an awesome rest of the day. The baby is like crawling all around me. But yeah, so I hope you found that helpful. If you're looking for more tips and tricks on beginning with herbs and wanting to get more kind of plants and forage for herbs and natural plant medicine into your world and into your diet, we have another video where I share just kind of some basic resources on getting started with herbal medicine, and a really awesome simple recipe on how to use mint to make these super delicious flourless mint brownies. So I'll link over to that video next, and we'll see you in that one.